When my father called me a deadbeat, I didn't argue. I just sat there, quiet and steady, while he told me Christmas wasn't meant for failures. He delivered the line like it was a joke. Only your sister and her family this year. No deadbeats. Then he hung up. I stared at the quiet phone for a long time. Outside my apartment window, the snow caught the last bit of daylight, tinted cold and rose-colored. That was the moment I decided this would be the final Christmas he'd ever feel superior to me. Growing up, my father's approval was the only currency that mattered, and I was always empty-handed. He liked to call it tough love. I called it control. My sister Clara fit perfectly into his script: the golden daughter, shiny husband, manicured life, permanent grin. I was the one who never matched the mold. The wrong degree, wrong relationships, wrong choices. When my startup collapsed last year, he didn't even ask if I was okay. He only sighed, as though the prophecy had been fulfilled. "You've always been the disappointment," he said. "Some people just aren't made for success." The thing about being pushed out of your own family is that it eventually becomes freeing. After the sting fades, there's nothing left they can take. Step 1 of my revenge was silence. While Clara shared brunch photos and ski vacations, I vanished. Deleted my social media, changed my number, let them assume I was sinking. I wasn't. A month after that phone call, my company's tech patent was bought. The deal was quiet, I sold under an alias. No press, no attention. After taxes and paperwork, I was holding more money than I had ever imagined. Enough to buy something significant, something that meant something. I bought a mountain lodge, $8.2 million of glass, pine, and snow. Clara's favorite influencer once posted a Christmas video from that place, calling it heaven. I didn't need heaven. I needed a stage. I mailed the invitations myself. Heavy cream cardstock, gold embossed. Christmas Eve at the Winter Lodge. Hosted by Evelyn. No last name, just enough to spark curiosity. Clara called first. Her voice was syrup sweet. "Evie, is this a joke? Dad said you were struggling." I smiled. "Oh, I was. But things change." A beat. "Dad's coming too, right?" "Of course," I said. "Wouldn't want anyone left out." The night arrived wrapped in snow and anticipation. From the balcony, I watched their SUV weave up the private drive. Dad in his pressed coat. Clara fussing with her scarf. Her husband hauling overly wrapped gifts. Tight smiles, tighter nerves. The door opened to warmth and music. A fire flickered in the stone hearth. Champagne waited in crystal glasses. Clara's eyes widened. "Evie, this place is nice." I finished for her. "It'll do." Dad scanned the room like he expected a trap. "How did you afford all this?" he asked. I let the question linger in the air. Deadbeats can be surprisingly resourceful. He gave a short, uneasy laugh. "Good for you. Maybe you finally grew up." Dinner unfolded like theater. I'd hired a private chef, every course arriving exactly on cue. They ate, drank, laughed too loudly. Still, I caught the glances, the unsettled curiosity about wealth they couldn't trace, the itch to know where it came from. When dessert appeared, I lifted my glass. "A toast," I said. "To family, the ones who doubted, and the ones who didn't." Dad leaned back. "You've done well, Evie." "Really? But you should have told us. We could have helped." I cut in softly. "When I was at my lowest, you called me a deadbeat." Silence fell. The fire snapped. Clara froze with her fork suspended. I set my glass down. "Do you know what it feels like to be erased by your own family? To hear your father plan Christmas without you because you're not successful enough?" He opened his mouth, but I didn't let him speak. I built everything you see from nothing. While you mocked me, I worked. While you ignored me, I prepared. And now you're eating off plates that cost more than my first apartment. Clara shifted in her chair. Evie, please don't do this. I'm not angry, I said. I'm just giving back what was handed to me. I pressed a button on the remote hidden under the table. The wall behind me lit up, ownership records for the lodge. My name. My company. The patent sale. Their faces drained as the truth settled over them. This lodge, I continued, will host charity events for kids with no families this winter. Because I know what it feels like to be unwanted. I held my gaze on Dad. And next Christmas, I won't be here. But you'll remember this one. He tried to speak, but nothing came out. Clara wiped a tear, not for me, but for her discomfort. They left early. Their presence stayed behind. The snow erased their footprints. I remained by the fire long after. Not triumphant, just steady. It wasn't about revenge anymore. It was about reclaiming the space they once told me I didn't deserve. Outside, the lodge lights shimmered across the snow, quiet and unwavering. For the first time, the silence didn't hurt.